Hello again, everyone. Marcus here. I review stuff. Today, I'm reviewing the song "The Moon/Awake" by The Deer Hunter. Of course, this song comes as a request, so as always, if you would like to request something, please leave it in the comments, and I'll be sure to get to it. So, at this point, I've heard like a couple of songs from The Deer Hunter. Turns out that I had actually heard a song from them before I realized I had heard a song from them. I think the first time I ever reviewed them on my channel, I had said like, I don't think I've ever heard anything from them. But as it turns out, I had heard a song from them before starting my channel. It was a song, "Stuck on a Wire, Out on a Fence," something like that, which I actually really like. The song has actually been on my playlist for a while, and I kind of forgot that I had heard it from the song. It's one of those where I had like just the one song by that artist on my playlist. Anyway, long story short, I've heard that song. I've heard a couple more from just the channel. You can go search for those if you'd like. And so far, I've kind of liked what I've heard from them. So looking forward to this one and hope that it holds up to what I'm expecting. So let's give it a shot. This is The Deer Hunter, The Moon/Awake. I also know that there's a lot of I guess lore that goes along with the band and their lyrics, and a lot of you told me sort of some of the background behind that. So unfortunately, I'm pretty uneducated about all that stuff, so typically my lyric interpretation is just kind of what I get out of the song. So anyway, let's give it a shot. Again, The Moon/Awake by The Deer Hunter. Let's do it.
Misdirection pervades and my image fades of you. Could we return to the hymn of the lake? Brave refrains of impossible love, not believing what they'd say. Haunting heralds whose words were lost on you. Decided our fate, decay until we're erased, idly wasting away while the nightmares end in sleep. Just
Was they going to transition to the next song? Oh man, I like that a whole lot. That was so good. That end took me completely by surprise. I was not expecting it to take that left turn there. So that was cool. I like that a whole lot, actually. I've been on the fence about the Deer Hunter since I've listened to them on my channel. Like, I like their music, but not enough to really like get into them yet. I think this song might have been what I needed to start getting into them, and really start appreciating the band, because this one was interesting. It had a lot of cool stuff musically, instrumentally. I actually really like the vocal performance on this one as well. I just feel like the way it was sung, I thought was just really cool, really enjoyable. Lyrically, there were some lines that made me go, ooh, that's cool. I love that line. So just a lot to enjoy from this song. I think this might be the one that has finally kind of started to warm me up and win me over towards the side of this band. Not that I disliked any of their music by any means. It's just, I take a bit to warm up to an artist where I'm just like, yeah, they're up there for me now, So definitely liked this one a lot. So I'm really excited to break it down, of course, starting with the lyrics. Very excited to get into the lyrics, because there was some stuff there where I was like, that's cool, I like that. So let's see. Now, this is an unreviewed song bio, but let's take a quick look at it. It says, having some mayor of the city during Act 4, the boy realizes that he's part of the corruption he planned to get rid of. He looks back over his life to see if he's been a force for good in the world or for bad. He considers what his younger self would think of what became of him. He concludes that his life hasn't taken a positive path and wonders if he can repent for his mistakes. Okay. Good stuff. And there is a proposed edit here. I just kind of want to see what this person says. Oh, just a spelling change. So the boy became the mayor of the city. Like I said, there's some lore here that I'm just not quite up to date on, so I do remember from what I've heard that, like there's some sort of city, and there's I think there was like a World War I vibe or something like that in part of it. So I'm sure you guys will let me know in the comments what's going on here. But yeah, cool. So I definitely got, again, even though this is an unreviewed song, but I'm not sure how accurate all this is, I definitely got this last part here where he says he considers what his younger self would think of what became of him. I think I heard something lyrically as I was listening to it that made me think about that. So let's take a quick look at it. It says, this soul's a stowaway at the heels of a gaze, their eyes betrayed in the arcade. Misdirection pervades and my image fades of you. Where are you? Could we return to the hymn of the lake, grave refrains of impossible love, not believing what they'd say, haunting heralds whose words were lost on you? Where are you? I'd bear you my heart if I knew that it was still there, that it still was there. I'm too nervous to look, too afraid to close the book. So take all the wind from my lungs if you're out of air. That was one of the lines that made me go, ooh, damn, that's a hell of a line right there. And so I pictured it as my first listen to as there's a loved one out there who he'd be willing to just give everything for, make the ultimate sacrifice for if he needed to. Just deliver me truth, deliver me you. But when I click on it, it mentions here that the boy is willing to give himself totally to the city. Okay, so I don't know. I feel like part of this can also just be up to your interpretation. Again, I know that there's some lore going on here. There's an overarching story behind kind of all their music, but I'm sure that many of the songs can just be up to interpretation, up to whatever the listener takes from it. I would compare it to like Coheed and Cambria, where it's like, it's about the Amory Wars overall, and all the songs and lyrics and whatever else really tie back to the Amory Wars. But on top of that, that's also Claudio's way of kind of telling his story. But then it's also just kind of up to the listener, right? Up to their interpretation. So I have a feeling that this is kind of like that as well, where there's this overarching story about our protagonist, the boy who becomes the mayor or what have you. But there's also the lead singer, or I guess the Casey Wright, I think I've seen his name before, where it's sort of about his life and his experiences. But then it's also just up to whatever the reader and the listener takes away from it. So I'm assuming you guys would kind of agree with that, but I'm sure you can let me know there. But that's kind of how I'm approaching it. It's like, there's a bunch of lore that I don't know, and there's probably a lot to this guy's backstory that I don't know, but I can just take what I can take out of it as someone who isn't up to par on all that. So how do we lose our place? Who decided our fate? Decay until we were erased, idly wasting away. Well, that nightmare's ending soon. Where are you? I'd bear you my heart if I knew that it was still there. I'm too nervous to look, too afraid to close the book. So take all the wind from my lungs. If you're out of air, just deliver me truth. I'll deliver me you. So if you're true with me, if you're honest, then you've got me. You know, I'm all for you. Who are you waiting for? Who are you waiting for? If the younger me could have seen the trouble I'd create, he'd never have agreed to carry on. Who are you waiting for? When sins of sons to fathers come, too heavy is the weight. That's a hell of a line too. I'm telling you, there's some writing here that is just so like poetic and fantastical in nature that it really catches your attention. When sins of sons to fathers come, too heavy is the weight. The spirit split in two. Dear apparition, in this fleeting flash must I burn the earth before you turn to ash. Would such extremes repair our broken past? The silver lining seldom lies in sight, too plain to see. Another hell of a line, guys. The silver lining seldom lies in sight, too plain to see. You know, you get the phrase, every cloud has a silver lining, but what he's saying is that silver lining is not always apparent. But trust our story's end can bring redemption for the pain endured. Cool, man. That was great. I loved that from a lyrical standpoint. Like I said, a lot of just really cool lines that just stuck out, and I was like, wow, that was cool. Like, that was just the way it was written really catches your attention. Like I said, it makes you wonder, like, okay, what's going on in this song? So I thought that was fantastic lyrically. I got to give it 2 thumbs up. Again, regardless of just whatever story is being told, I just think from like my personal interpretation of it, from my personal enjoyment of just the lyrics, I thought it was fantastic, you know. And again, I'm a sucker for those just really well written lines that just catch your attention. So yeah, great job lyrically here. As far as the instrumentation goes, there was a lot to enjoy here. I think from the beginning, you know, that sort of soft piano that came in at first was really cool. That sort of left turn towards the end of the song, I actually really liked that. That was just so like, you have like one style of a song, and then when they flip it on you, it's just like, okay, this is something totally different, but I liked it a whole lot. There were some moments in there with some really high energy where I was just kind of like rocking out, like, okay, this is really good. I'm struggling to really remember things specifically of what I heard and say like, okay, this was really good or this was really good. I feel like I need a repeat listen on this to really pay attention now to the instrumentation and really get that kind of right here. But overall, I did enjoy the way the song sounded instrumentally. I think if I maybe just had, actually no, I was gonna say if I had one complaint, I would say they should have mixed it up a little bit more. But honestly, for a 6-minute song, it didn't feel like a 6-minute song, because I think they did enough to really transition and make the song a little bit more interesting. Again, especially with that sort of left turn there at the end. So I actually think it was pretty good instrumentally, and then vocally, like I said right when the song ended, was I just really dug the way he sang this one. I don't know if it's the same singer as it's been for all of the albums. Let's see, does it tell me the bandmates here? I don't think it does on this page. Anyway, I'm not sure if it's the same singer it has been for all the songs I've heard, but I just really like the way he approached this one. I felt like if it sounded a little different to me. I don't know, people who have been longtime fans, this might just be, you know, a normal song, normal performance for you, but for me, he had a certain edge to his voice in some parts of the song that I think just really stuck out to me, and I think he did a really great job singing and performing this one. So vocally, instrumentally, I got to give this one 2 thumbs up as well. I really enjoyed it. And so as far as replay value goes, look, I mean, I think this one's going to go on the playlist. I really had a great time listening to it. There were a lot of lines lyrically that I just really enjoyed and can't wait to look at again and listen to again. I'm a sucker for good lyrics. There was a lot here instrumentally that I think was interesting and fun to listen to. His vocal performance is great. I'm basically just repeating everything I said, but I just want to let you guys know that that's the reason it's going on the playlist. It's just so easy to listen to. It was a fun listen, and it was an interesting listen. So 2 thumbs up there as well. Overall, a fantastic song. I want to thank whoever requested this one for an awesome request. As always, if you would like to request something, just leave it in the comments. I'll be sure to get to it. If you enjoyed the music as much as I did, of course, go support the artists. Go listen to their music wherever you can. One place that you can find this song is going to be in my Spotify playlist. It's in the description below, and it has every single song I've heard so far on my channel. Of course, if you want to support me, just all the normal stuff you do on YouTube, guys, you know, like and subscribe and comment, that kind of stuff. So, yeah, that's going to be it. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.